Here's the most popular commander for each 2-color combination. Leave your guesses below. For white-blue, it's Shorikai, a 4-cost vehicle with crew 8 that you can pay 1 and tap in order to draw 2 cards and then discard a card, and create a pilot. This is a pretty value-heavy commander that can give you a constant stream of cards and a bunch of creature tokens, and there's over 17,000 decks built around it. For blue-black, it's Yuriko, a commander you'll likely never cast as it can be ninjutsu'd in from the command zone, and when it hits, can drain your opponents for a ton if the top of your library has a high mana value spell. It also dodges commander attacks, making it pretty appealing and leading it to helm over 23,000 decks. For black-red, it's Prosper, a 4-cost with Death Touch that gives you a treasure whenever you play a card from exile, and impulse draws you a card on each of your end steps. This is a commander that offers both ramp and card advantage, and so it's naturally powerful, plus we've gotten a ton of both treasure and cast from exile support recently, and so there's over 13,000 Prosper decks. For red-green, it's Tovolar, the de facto werewolf commander. It draws you cards when wolves and werewolves are hitting players, and forces transformation once you control enough of them. Plus its back has a pretty powerful pump ability that can work as a solid win con. Overall, Tovolar is currently helming over 10,000 decks. For green-white, it's Sithis, a very simple 2-cost commander that draws you a card and gains you a life whenever you cast an enchantment, which, while simple, is incredibly powerful and makes a strong commander for an enchantress build and is the commander of over 11,000 decks. For white-black, it's Taste Karlov, a 4-cost 2/4 that doubles all of your dice triggers and gives tokens vigilance and lifelink. Dice triggers are the central point of most aristocrat decks, and the only thing better than getting value when creatures die is doing it twice, and so there's over 15,000 decks with Taste as the commander. For blue-red, it's Gearson Starn, a very interesting commander that rewards you for dealing exactly 1 damage to things by letting your commander deal an additional 2 when it happens. There's a lot of cool synergy here, and I think it's a pretty unique commander, so it's helping over 15,000 decks. For black-green, it's Lathril, an elf with menace that creates more elves equal to the combat damage it deals to players, and that lets you tap 10 elves plus it to hit each opponent for 10 and gain you 10 life. This is settled as the most popular commander for one of the most popular creature types in the game, and so there's over 21,000 decks with Lathril at the helm. For red-white, it's Feather the Redeemed, a spell-slinging commander that gives you back all of your combat tricks you cast on it at your end step, creating probably the most unique Boros deck out there, but it's still the least popular commander on this list at over 9,000 decks. And finally, for green-blue, it's Hackball, a merfolk that lets all of your merfolk explore at the start of combat, and that can either draw you a card or put down an extra land whenever it attacks. This commander generates a ton of value and spirals out of control quickly, on top of leading a fairly powerful precon, leading it to helm over 12,000 decks.